What's up, guys? Sub-Zerek here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another PvE VOD review, and this time, it's not a dish soap VOD review. It is not a Wage and Iverson VOD review. We're actually going across the ocean and VOD reviewing Kojnid, one of my favorite European players to watch. This guy is just a very, very solid tier 1 player in Europe, and he's good. He's good at TFT. And also, one of the things just watching him play is I feel like he's one of the players who already has a pretty good register on how to play different lines, how to not play sort of always, necessarily like one like cookie cutter, like, oh, this version of the comp. He's got some comps under his belt. And this game I thought was a really cool example of that, where he played a line and I was kind of like, whoa, I didn't even know this was something that you could play. So I want to watch this game, VOD review it, and yeah, I mean, just yoink some knowledge from Kojnid here. Starts kind of interesting. We have upgraded frontline and no backline to speak of right now, but it's a great frontline. Capital Gains is a fantastic augment, but he does actually opt to reroll it here, and seems like we was looking at solo plate for a second there. I do see one of my okay. Let's go here. We're gonna take. I was gonna say I do really like time skip. In general, it's just so much gold. 32 XP. It's not quite 32 gold, but it's not that far off of it. Replication though ends up being the take here for Kojnid, opting to say I can get really quickly to bow items to build something out of. I can go for sword here and then have a lot of damage items made out of this, and yeah, I mean, we can just immediately make the DB, slam the bow here, and we're at a pretty good spot damage items wise. Also, we have a that was a crazy call at the last second here. Take replication, grab the sword here, yes, and then he transformed his one cost. He actually coin flipped this, right? This could have just flipped the recon, but he grabbed it at the last second and ends up, working out perfectly. We end up hitting a Gromp here, so now we have a Gromp 2 as our backline off of this charm. Just one of those things where the charms can completely swing your early game, something that I think further we get into the set, the more it's going to matter using charms like this correctly, putting yourself into a spot where, the difference between this charm and not taking this charm is that we have a 2-star backliner, 2-star 2-cost backliner versus like no backliner. And so good call from Kojnid here. Gonna opt to start selling some of this stuff on bench away here just so that we can make 10. And I mean, we've got a great opener from it. We have all the swords coming here, looking almost like he's gonna slam out of the Edge of Night here, which I think would be a really interesting slam in this spot. But he opts to say, I'm gonna lose this fight regardless. It's not like Edge of Night's gonna swing the fight anyway, so we might as well just take the loss here. And he is, looking at his team planner here, and he says we're gonna play this towards a Sivir Nidalee game with the idea that we have all these swords, right? We have DB, this can go very nicely into Sivir. We have potentially Edge of Night for Nidalee. You do have to make sure that you end up building at least one sword damage item onto the Nidalee, or sword tank item if you go something like Sterax, which is often what you do end up going, because she is one of those units that transforms back and forth between AD and AP, and she actually form swaps, and her AP form, every time I've seen it, has done basically nothing, and her AD form, every time I've seen it, has been kind of horrifyingly strong. So definitely want to get to, I would say, a Sterax here. There's some other options, and obviously you could even get it through like augments and stuff like that, but definitely something that we're going to want down the line. But we are just going to pick up the tier here, looking like it's for Shojin here for our the Sivir that we're going to play later. And yep, Shojin is going to come down here. We do have Yunara 2 or Gromp 2, so we kind of get to take our pick here in this spot of what we would rather play. Opt to just play the Gromp here because we don't have an Executioner for the Yunara yet. We do have an Adapter and an Inferno. Actually, it fits sort of nicely in with this Shen here for the Gromp here. What I will say is, I do love Yunara just because she's a Blossom unit, and as we've talked about in previous VODs, as we talked about in every VOD, just getting early Blossom in is just gross. But I can see, we want to play a strong early game, right? And so, sure, we could play around this Yunara, but it doesn't make that much sense in this position. Ooh, what does make sense is playing around this Amumu now. Now we can get Inferno in this way. Could even low-key play 3 Inferno, but looking like he's just going to want to play strongest board here, not cut any of these units, and just is going to chill here. So still got this 2-star Kobuko that he picked up off Charm, which he could sell for gold. Looking like he's going to hold on to it as a potential out. Not sure when exactly it's going to come in here, but you know, maybe it'll come in down the line. And we get a 3 streak. I mean, this is a great early game. Anytime you are naturaling stuff like Amumu, you feel pretty good. Just get your 4-cost tank out of the way. All of a sudden we have this, and this is also good direction for Kojnid to say, okay, I have AD items and I have an Amumu. I want to play some kind of board where I can use both of those. And you know, normally, I believe the board on TFT Academy is, you know, you play Sivir and then you play Vi to connect the Sivir with the Amumu, and easy. You get Primal in, and it's great. But it's not exactly what Kojnid is thinking about in this spot, which I think it's interesting. And you'll see he kind of cooks here. Does have Gargoyle, but opts to make the Crown Guard because we've talked about this a lot. You want to kill the components, a lot of people will say. Just get rid of the components that you don't want. In this spot here, Rod is not a high value component. We don't really want the Rod in this situation because none of our good damage items fill out of Rod. And Rod's also a great tank component for Amumu. Goes into Crown Guard here. His all of his tankiness and his damage scales with AP, so pretty good there for Kojnid. Only downside is Gargoyle would have had great value with the healing orbs. We'll see what we take here. I think something like a Wisp rebate looked kind of good here. I think you kind of need Econ. I mean, small grab bag's so tempting, but yeah, I think you do need the Wisp rebate here. This is a great augment. Not only is it Econ, so you know you get 6 gold now and then 2 gold every single time you buy a charm. One of the nice things about Wisp rebate as well is that it can sometimes allow you to roll for Wisps when you otherwise wouldn't be able to. You can almost think of it like a trade sector for Wisps, in that, you know, if you spend 2 gold to roll, and then you pick up that Wisp, you get that 2 gold back. So you basically got the roll for free. So something that you can do when you're in a situation where you're like win streaking and you're saying, like, do I want to roll here? Well, I have Wisp rebate, so it's actually totally fine for me to roll here because the roll ends up kind of being free, and then the Wisp, you just have to pay for the Wisp, but it's a lot better than having to spend 2 gold on the roll than, you know, maybe 2 or 3 gold on like a combat Wisp in this spot here. So yeah, I will say I'm pretty surprised that we are on a 2-loss streak with this board, but just ends up being a pretty strong lobby. So yeah, I mean, I think the Gromp's a great unit. I think Amuma's a great unit, and you can see, I mean, we're fighting here in a Azir 2, and we are just going to clear this board. Like, I don't think our board's weak by any means, but just one of those games where you just end up kind of losing some random fights against strong boards, and that's okay. That happens in TFT. I mean, we're still 80 HP, so it's not like we're low by any means here. Have the cloak open here. This could be for Gargoyle. This could be for Even Shroud. I would like to ideally finish a tank item off here. We don't really get a great option towards it. Yeah, and so we're going to end up just taking the sword here. Could have taken like the 1-cost belt, but I don't really love it in this spot here. Ooh, this is a cool one. I haven't actually seen this charm, so you have to have Inferno in. Roll your shop. Inferno lights 2 shop slots on fire, upgrading them. Huh, so that's cool. So you just get a little shop upgrade there, and we get something pretty good out of it. We get the Sentinel here, so we can play this. We can also level for the Diana, who, look at these traits. These are actually beautiful here. And now we're going to make the IE really, really nice item onto Sivir. Sivir is one of these like AD caster style units, so getting IE onto her, really, really valuable. And then the GS later can end up onto the Sivir, can end up onto the Nidalee. I mean, we could even use the DB as the thing that turns the Nidalee AD down the line. So something to consider, by the way. Also, I said by the way because I read it almost looks by the way. Okay, I'm saying it too many times now. Like I'm the person that this thing's pointing to that's saying tier 1 player, but it's actually just it just says Kojnid Master 0 LP because he decayed, which I mean yeah, pretty much everybody decayed. This will be me as a tier 1 player at the end of this set. That's all I gotta say. We just gotta lock in. I've been playing a lot of PB. We did another long stream today, like 7-ish hours, and once again, I'm up way too late, but I will be live today, the day this video is coming out, Sunday, for some more, though I will probably start late again because I'm up way too late, but that's okay. That's what the weekend is for, even though, I mean, because I do content full-time, there is really no like weekend, weekday, like it's all just kind of It's all just kind of the soup of working or working. I'm recording a YouTube video right now. Anyway, Kojnid's starting to figure out what his board is going to be based on the units that he's hit already. He's team plannering some stuff that makes a lot of sense here. You can already see kind of the core of the board in the planner, but also in just what he's got here, and it makes a lot of sense. So you can play Sivir Nidalee, and then his Jug on this board, not going to be the Vi here. He's going to link up a Mumu plus Scuttle Crab via Sentinel so that he can get Rift Beast in onto this board. Just needs one more Rift Beast unit, but hey, there is a Rift Beast Hunter out there, so that is who we're going to throw in on top of that. Cinderling here. And yeah, the board's actually going to fit together really, really beautifully trait-wise. And then Kog'Maw in here means that our Shred and Sunder is done with, so we don't even need to go for that Even Shroud that we were talking about. We even have, Cinderling in, which gives us a little bit of heal cut, though you'd probably still like to build heal cut. We could also level to 9 and get heal cut in eventually that way. But yeah, the board actually fits kind of beautifully. And yeah, he's looking at this board for a while and he's like, oh yeah, Cinderling. I mean, look at this. 7 traits in, fits really, really nicely. He's saying, I could actually play Hecarim as a slightly better Vanguard on this board, or I could, maybe play the Diana down the line. We'll see what he wants to go for. But really cool cook of a board here, and he can play it starting very, very soon. Whenever he wants to roll down here, probably going to be next round, just because 4-2 is a good time to roll in general. And going into Augment here, I mean, Call to Chaos, it's never bad. Sword Overflow, we have a lot of swords. I do think you could probably still consider this and just get to some Nidalee items. But he sees Bronze for Life and he's like, wait a minute, this is kind of the perfect Bronze for Life line. So I'm going to play this. He is also, a little off interval here, so that was weird. So he pre-pumps all the way, rolls once, and now he's gonna roll next round because he realized that this is off interval, because every level is cheaper because of the portal that we're in. So just not willing to roll off interval here. I mean, to be fair, he's 69 HP, nice. So like there's no real downside even if we take a loss here, and he's actually gonna win this fight against Dawncore Ahri. By the way, kids, Dawncore Ahri not very good. She has a pretty big mana, so pretty big mana pool, so it's not great. But look, there's our Sivir here. He didn't take the big guns here. I don't hate this here, just to get you to some of your units. We pick up the Nidalee here, and yep, we're gonna continue to roll down. Finally find the Kog'Maw on this board, and a Mumu too, who can be a really good frontline here. We have not gotten Primal in yet, but we have a lot of good pairs on this board. And once again, I mean, the board's not the worst. The Gromp is doing good work. The Kog'Maw is not even doing bad work. He hovered the Even Shroud there for a second, but once again, like, we're gonna play Kog'Maw basically this entire game. It's free Invoker on this board. It's a Adapter on this board. It's kind of everything that you could want. So no need to build the Even Shroud. Just definitely need to get to some tank items at some point here. Could even be like an Adaptive or something. But he's gonna opt to take the sword here, which looks like it is finally for that Sterax for Nidalee, but we'll see. Also, he scouts and sees that this guy actually has Nidalee too and is contesting him, which is crazy because I've never seen somebody play this line before. And of course, the time that he does play it, he ends up contested, which is just hilarious. But is going to pivot in because we are duo carrying 2 Primal units. We're going to go Blessing of the Bear here. You see a lot of different blessings taken. Blessing of the Turtle when you're playing some like Fast 9 boards that go slower. Blessing of the Tiger if you're playing boards where you actually care about the attack speed. Blessing of the Bear makes a lot of sense in this spot because both of these guys are our carries, so getting Execute onto both of them is really, really fantastic. So that is the idea, and we are going to pivot into that aforementioned board and just get these items down. Only downside is Nidalee is going to default to AP here, so she's going to sit and kind of do nothing. But hey, the Kog'Maw is an Adapter. He can use these AD items decently, and he's also just going to like sit here and do not a ton of damage, but not no damage at all. We do find Nidalee 2 here, which is huge, so now we can move items over. We do also find the Sentinel 2, which is huge here. We are going to take this, it's the Butterflies one, it looks like, and looking like we might, yeah, we're gonna move the tank items over to the Sentinel here. This actually surprises me a little bit. And is also, check this out, yeah, we're gonna move IE up to the Nidalee in this spot here, saying we already, we have the Nidalee 2 here, and so getting the crit on her is gonna be really, really valuable. And aside from that, I mean, these 3 items that we have on Sivir just feel really, really good here, so we don't want to move those. It's also like we have this last glove open, which could be like Hodge, could even be QSS off of this cloak here, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, I just thought that was such a cool board, and one that I feel like, I mean, I have definitely not explored this this Primal board too much. These carries, I feel like I have underplayed these guys a lot, and watching this game, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by how it did. Did he take that charm? The one that upgrades your 1-stars? What does this even do on your board? Doesn't it only upgrade this? That sounds... I mean, I guess to be fair, any charm in a I mean, not really, because he spends gold on it. Why did we take this? Am I crazy? Oh, actually, he doesn't have the Sivir 2 yet, so this does start up the Sivir. Okay, that's why we take it. Okay, that's really, really solid. Okay, so Sivir 2 on this board, very, very good. Items-wise, I was also surprised by the itemization here. Ends up making a TG here for the Amumu, just saying I have a 2-star Amumu on my board. I'd really like to get some items down onto this guy, so I'm just going to make the TG there. This allows me to also finish off the Adaptive Helm for the blue buff. It just surprised me that we didn't get to, like Nidalee items or anything like that, or even just another blue buff item. But, I mean, to be fair, TG Amumu, pretty good. And now our board is really online with the Sivir 2. He also has a few more removers, so around like this, we can move down the TG. Pretty surprised that he cloaks the Amumu, actually, because this means we can't ever really move the TG back up without spending another remover. But I guess his thought is that the TG is just going to sit on the Kog'Maw for the rest of the game, because, like, Kog'Maw can use AP items, can use AD items. Only thing he can't really use is tank items, but usually you're not going to see just, like, 2 tank items. And if you do, unlucky here, I guess. I guess Infliction here, which is not a bad one, especially because we don't actually have much burn on this board. We do have the Cinderling still, but a Cinderling one is a little... I would say it's not super, like, I mean, look how long it takes it to cast here. Finally gets the cast off there and gets a little bit of burn on the front line, which is nice, but it's not super reliable. It could also just easily get sniped down by stuff, so that is... probably why we feel fine taking this charm in this spot. Don't need to rely too much on the burn from the Cinderling if we're getting burn from our charm here. Last, well, hopefully not our last carousel. Actually, maybe we'll get another one later. But next carousel here, did see Edge of Night for the Nidalee, but that ends up getting yoinked. So what are we even going to take here? Just Hodge. Yep, this is what we were looking at earlier. Healing for the Nidalee and crit with the IE looks pretty good. Extra mana gen for our board, definitely not bad. And we can just chill here. Wait for our level 9. Like we talked about, level 9 very likely to be Inferno on this board. A Kennen never feels bad. I've talked about this a million times, but Kennen just feels like the best 5 cost. This unit just flies into your backline, does 1 trillion damage, and also heal cuts the board. Like at least he doesn't like CC or anything like that. You've seen Kennens before who will CC, but he at least doesn't CC. Also, check this Nidalee. Let's just watch this fight back here. Look at this Nidalee. Gets the kill here, jumps to frontline, and then jumps straight to backline and just kills everything. This unit's just a monster. I don't actually... because Nidalee targeting, he goes and hovers the Nidalee ability here. I don't actually understand why the Nidalee went straight to backline there. I would have thought it would have at least gone like more like front to back, but I mean, I don't think he's mad about it. And in any case, I mean, she completely popped off, and this is why he likes the IE plus the Hodge, just the really high burst ability for this Nidalee. Picks this up here. It's free. Does have to take the completed item here just to get 1 round quicker to this blue buff item. I'm actually pretty surprised by this, but I guess the other idea is that, like, 1, this is a blue buff item here, great. 2 is that, I mean, we still have a Mumu 2 to itemize, so it doesn't even really feel that bad. Even though we're getting the blue buff item here, and then we're gonna get 1 more item later on 6-1, doesn't really feel too bad because we can just throw it onto the Amumu here. So I see it. Only downside is that it's going to delay our level 9 a little bit. And I do really want to go 9 on this board so that we can get Inferno in, so that we can get, ideally, Kennen in on this board, get our heal cut, and be happy with it. That's also another trait for Bronze for Life here. Do pick up a Mumu, which is cool. Not quite the Inferno that we need. He is going to just opt to straight level up here. And let's see if we can get something else to put in on this board here. Nothing yet. There is the Kennen, so boom, Kennen will go in onto this board, and we can look either for a Kennen item or an Amumu item here. Either one, he's going to go for the Amumu item just because Kennen 1 with 1 item is not really going to do that much damage. We have also enough damage on this board, I would say, with the Sivir and the Nidalee here, and just once again, Nidalee flying to backline. Sadly, she doesn't just do 1 more jump and end up killing that kill here, but the Sivir with the bouncing blade can pick up the kill, and so we're going to pick up another win here, and top 4 is essentially guaranteed at this point. Sees Coven Lux here. I don't think it's great. Counterspell I do like a lot as a charm. Ooh, I will say, it's interesting. I'm surprised that that Kojnid is not using his hotkeys here to do his roll downs. I think this is something that a lot of people have been doing recently. I know there's still, I've been yapping about it probably more than anybody else, but I do really think this is the future. And I know there are a few people out there who are like, it's not that helpful. I don't care. But like, I legit think in like, once we get into like live, like everybody's going to be doing this. What's going on the players on the right here? Why is there second place, third place, a dead player, and then a 10 HP player? Is this player actually alive or not? I guess we'll find out. I do really love this charm that we picked up here, the one where you bunch people up and they get a ton of max HP, shielding, and damage amp. I think this one's just a really, really great charm, and we're going to full on go for it. It's a bit much, but hopefully, I mean, the Lux is going to AoE us down. That's the worst thing here for it. You can see the Nidalee just always making her way into backline and just killing everything, man. This unit is so good, especially with the execute from the Primal. So really, really insane. Okay, I have to assume that that 5th place player is not actually alive and that it's just us and H-Moon here. So I have to assume that that's what's going on, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's just another one of these random little these PvE bugs. I guess you can just throw that onto the Kog'Maw and be happy with it. Looking for a better charm here. Wow, I'm kind of surprised we do take that one once again because it's a pretty mediocre charm. But we're just going to say, I mean, it's free. Why not? And hey, if we lose this fight, then we got another shot at getting a better charm. We'll see. Kale is a very fearsome board, but great positioning from the blue buff. Just ends up knocking up the opposite side here. We'll say we do get a little cleared here. Very cleared here. But hopefully it can be a charm diff. Oh, greater cast, 2 random wisps. Okay. Wait, what wisps did we get here? This is the Giga Bailout Wisp, by the way. Champions explode on death and slow burn, shred, and sunder. Okay. I mean, to be fair, at this point, we have shred, sunder, and burn. So really just getting the slow and the instantaneous burn here. Also going to opt to play the Taric here. So going to end up fitting him in at the end here. I mean, Taric just so good against these boards with a lot of splash damage. We'll see if it's enough. It's also just so much shielding onto the board, as you can see there. We have Nidalee same side. We need to kill frontline, then have her rotate to backline. But nah, this board is just too tanky. I mean, this Forbidden Idol Radiant Crown Guard Sejuani is just straight up unkillable, but still a really, really cool game from Kojnid, showing off this like Primal fast 8 comp, the Nidalee plus Sivir duo carry. I thought this line was really, really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, as always.